Please don't forget subscribe to the channel and hit the bell to get notified of new daily videos.
My name is Howard, and for the past 6 months I've been living in a waking nightmare. It started when my estranged Aunt Gladys passed away. She was always different, a recluse who lived in a massive, sprawling house crammed with peculiar trinkets and shadows. When she left the house to me, my wife, Bernadette, and our son, Kelvin, thought it would be a fresh start. We packed our bags, eager to leave the city behind for what we hoped would be a quieter life. We were wrong. The moment we stepped inside, the house felt heavy, not just with dust and old furniture, but with a tangible sense of unease. We rationalized it as the natural melancholy of an old, neglected place, but it was more than that. It was suffocating. I found it while clearing out the attic, tucked away beneath a moth-eaten tapestry, an ornate wooden music box intricately carved with unsettling figures. Aunt Gladys's had included a strange codicil, a handwritten note specifically for me. "To Howard, my music box. Never open it, dear. Let the silence sleep." Naturally, curiosity, or perhaps a foolish sense of defiance, got the better of me. I turned the winding key. The melody that tinkled out was distorted, slightly off-key, like a lullaby played by a broken clockwork doll. It wasn't beautiful, it was profoundly unsettling. I shrugged, closed the lid, and put it on a dusty shelf. I should have listened. Almost immediately, things changed. Bernadette, usually so vibrant, started humming that same distorted tune absent-mindedly. Kelvin, my energetic 10-year-old, complained of whispers in his room at night, and his drawings shifted from superheroes to hollow-eyed figures watching from corners. He'd insist they were friends telling him secrets. The changes were subtle at first, easy to dismiss. Bernadette would leave cryptic notes on the counter, not for me, just random phrases like, "The quiet is a lie," or "It's easier to just stop." She started staring into space for long stretches, a placid, terrifying smile on her face. When I'd try to talk to her, she'd blink slowly and say, "Oh, I was just thinking about how much peace there is in letting go, Howard." Her tone was off, devoid of empathy, like she was reciting a line from a script. Then the whispers started for me too, just at the edge of hearing, always telling me to let go, to unburden myself. They preyed on my deepest regrets, reminding me of old mistakes I'd buried years ago. I tried to talk to Bernadette and Kelvin to explain what I was hearing, but they'd just look at me with those vacant eyes, or worse, seemed to know what I was talking about in a terrifying, complicit way. One evening, Kelvin walked into the living room, his face pale and his eyes empty. "Dad," he said, his voice flat, "what if we just stopped? The house says it would be better." He then asked why I wouldn't just listen to the song like he and Mom did. My blood ran cold. I knew it was the music box. I snatched it from the shelf, intending to smash it, to burn it, to rid my family of its malignant influence. But as my fingers closed around the cold wood, the whispers intensified, a cacophony of voices hissing my name, telling me I couldn't. I threw the box into the car, drove miles into the countryside, and hurled it into a deep ravine. I watched it tumble out of sight, a wave of desperate relief washing over me. When I returned, exhausted but hopeful, the music box sat on our mantelpiece, its lid slightly ajar, playing its faint, distorted melody. It was then I knew. It wasn't just an object. It was a conduit, and it wasn't leaving. The entity's presence solidified. It didn't possess them outright, but its suggestions were like a poison, amplifying every dark thought, every unspoken anxiety, eroding their very selves. Bernadette told me I should stop fighting, with a smile that never reached her eyes. Kelvin would speak of the choice the house wanted me to make. And then, last night, it reached its terrifying crescendo. I woke to the music box playing loudly downstairs, the jarring tune echoing through the silent house. My heart pounded as I crept down, my breath hitched in my throat. Kelvin, my sweet, innocent Kelvin, was standing on the edge of the second-story balcony overlooking the living room, a frayed rope in his hand, looking down into the empty space below. He was maybe 10 or 11, too young to understand what he was doing, yet his eyes held an unnerving clarity. Bernadette stood behind him, her placid, terrifying smile on her face. "He wants you to decide, Howard," she said, her voice flat, not her own. "Will you join him, or will you let him make his own choice?" I was paralyzed. The entity, through my wife, was forcing me to watch my son choose death, or to implicitly make that choice for him by letting him jump. The whispers in my head were a deafening roar, urging me to step off too, promising peace, an end to the torment. I knew that any sudden movement, any shout might startle Kelvin, might seal his fate. But a primal fear, a father's love, cut through the noise. I managed to call out his name, not the entity's twisted version, but his true name, coupled with a memory, a summer day, building a fort in the woods, the pure joy on his face. For a fleeting second, the entity's hold seemed to waver. Kelvin faltered, his eyes darting to mine, a flicker of fear replacing the emptiness. The rope slipped from his hand. I surged forward, grabbing him, pulling him back from the precipice. Bernadette just watched, her smile not fading, a silent, chilling witness. We got out of the house that night, though where we went doesn't matter. The music box is gone, vanished from the mantelpiece, but the peace is gone too. The entity is still here. My family isn't fully recovered. Bernadette still hums that distorted tune sometimes looks at me with those vacant eyes. Kelvin still asks strange, morbid questions, though less frequently. I live with the constant terror that it's waiting, always waiting, using them against me. The choice wasn't just then, it's an ongoing, living hell. I didn't make the choice, but I'm still paying the price. We're back in the house now. I have to be here for them. And every night, from an empty room, I hear a faint, distorted melody. It's calling to me, always calling.
If you enjoyed this video, please hit the thumbs up button to like it. And please do subscribe to support the channel.